Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Check your vibe, sister. Check your vibe. This is my homage with this title to one of my favorite albums of all time by the Beastie Boys. Came out, I think, in 91, 92. It's called Check Your Head. Great album. Check your vibe. Check your vibe. So what does this mean? Well, I put out an episode recently that talked about the power of feeling good. Now listen, this is kind of like, it's interesting because the message of Women Wanting More evolves because we evolve, right? And so, you know, if you just found this podcast, you've been listening from the very beginning, from a little bit over 4 years ago when this podcast launched in August of 2015, then you might be like, what the hell? Karen's all over the place. No, it's called change, it's called shift, it's called transformation, it's called there will be an evolution, and the message is going to shift and change because this is it, right? There's no growth in like being static and having the exact same opinions and the exact same views, and you should be growing and changing. You know what, people sometimes, if they haven't seen you for a while, and they'll go, you really changed, and sometimes that's said as a compliment, and sometimes it's not. And either way, you can use this response, which is thank you, because you should, because that is a huge piece of life. But check your vibe and the power of feeling good. And I realize with the things that I study and how I've been applying this then with coaching to clients and with my own life, is that it is not about, it's backwards, okay? One of the biggest lies that we've been fed is that, well, once we get the stuff, once this shift happens in my relationship, or I get the relationship I want, once my kids are like, they quote unquote behave better or listen to me, once I have X amount of dollars in the bank account, once I pay off debt, once I have this job, once I start my business, then I will be fill in the blank, desired life, outcome, emotion, feeling, vibe. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel accomplished. I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel joy. I'm going to feel gratitude. And I'll have you open your mind and your heart and your soul, because at some level you know that that's not true. Because you've been operating that way for quite some time, and it doesn't work that way. And you were in the same place, or you feel like you're stuck, or you feel like you're lost, or you feel like you're a failure and you're doing it all wrong. And in a way, with so much love, you are. And so have I at times too, with this same thought that once I get there, it's this notion that I often talk about, the grass is always greener, right? The grass is always greener on the other side, like thinking that the next thing will bring you happiness. But the thing is like, it's bigger than that. It's understanding that you being a creator of your life, sister, happens with you being in the emotional state of what you want. You want joy, you find it now. Creation doesn't happen from a place of negativity, fear, anxiety, panic, frustration, overwhelm, desperation, attachment to outcomes. It doesn't come from that point, because if you think about it, if that strategy would have worked, you would have all the things that you want right now. And for a lot of you, that's not the case. And I don't say that with judgment at all. I say that with I see you, I hear you, I know how hard you're working. And I know that you think that if you listen to more of this podcast or others, that if you hire more coaches and if you read more books and go to more seminars and live events and all these things, which are beautiful and wonderful and can be a part of your journey and your expansion and your growth, it's not how it's going to come. And there might be some of you actually that let's just say something like business or your health, you're actually working harder, you're working more hours, you're like trying harder, and more effort and more hours is not getting you what you want. And so, there's this crazy notion. We think, well, I'll just do more of the shit that I think will make it happen, even though I'm not seeing results or any kind of effect of this in a positive way, except I'm exhausted, I'm frustrated, I'm just getting more of what I don't want. Let me just keep doing the same thing. Yeah. Okay. However, what if we take a look at it differently? What if we start to understand and see that the way that the universe actually works is what we focus and fixate on, the primary emotions and thoughts that we have going on, are what we tend to then bring about. This is how the law of attraction really works, right? It's not about never having a negative thought. Listen, that's not realistic. You're gonna have challenges in life, but it's understanding that can't be the primary, the movie running in your head of, life has done me wrong, and this person did this to me, and this is unfair, and, this is unjust, and I feel like I've been a victim, and I've been hurt, or I've been sick. And if this is the primary thought that runs through your mind, if these are the primary feelings of anxiety and stress and doubt and fear and all of that, then the universe is going to deliver what you are primarily in. So guess what? You get more of that, more doubt, more fear, more anxiety, more stress, more overwhelm. You get more of the stuff that you don't want. Check your vibe. Where are you at? Because all of that negative stuff carries a very, and this isn't just like a woo-woo term, okay, but literally there's a vibration. There's a vibration to words, there's a vibration to your energy, there's a vibration to your way of being, to how you move your, all of us has a certain vibration. And we know, we've been in places where we're just like, man, you just feel like you're on fire, right? And there's all these amazing things that are happening in your life, and you're meeting people, and you're attracting all these things in, and you're creating all this stuff. You're just like, nothing can stop me, right? And that's true, actually, by the way. It's very, very true. And then, maybe something has come up in life that you didn't expect, that threw you a curveball, and you don't quite have the skills to be able to adapt, so you head down this different path in life. And maybe it's actually been in a certain way that you've never known the path of flow and ease and grace, and man, things are just like, and I want you to know, it can just be like a small thing where you've had that experience. Okay, a small thing, like things lined up for you. And that happened because of the place that you were in. You didn't get the thing, or create the thing, or meet the person, or create the money, or have the body, or create this in health, and then somehow again, this is how it is backwards. What is the vibration? When you were in that place of negativity, your vibration is low. You were attracting more of that low. Now again, if you're mostly there, you're primarily there, it's your dominant way of being. Don't think you have to censor every single, thought or emotion and somehow whitewash it with positivity. No, don't do that. Don't do the spiritual bypassing stuff. That doesn't work. And you're just going to build massive resentment, frustration, passive-aggressive comments. It'll just be like you're going to have an edge to you because you're not allowing yourself to recognize the feelings and letting them move through you. But when you're in that place of negativity, you carry a very low vibration. You wonder why shit keeps sticking to you? That's why. That's why. In the same state, if we flip that, and this is why gratitude is so powerful, right? You move into a place of gratitude. You move into a state of joy. You watch something funny and you start laughing, right? You move your body if that's something that's going to bring you power and joy and, presence. You're present as you move throughout your day. And you see all the little miracles around you. In a low vibration state, you can't. It's like you have blinders on. You can't see the forest for the trees. You're just in it. And I understand if that's where you are right now. I've been there many times in my life. All these things I'm saying to you right now, sister, are just with so much love and compassion. It's not judgment. I want you to hear that really clearly. Because also in a low vibration state, there can be this feeling of like being called out, or like, oh shit, she's got my number, or like, fuck you, Karen, for I don't want to hear this right now. Right? It's hard. I see you. I really, really do. I see you. I hear you. I hear you. Been all those places. There's a lot of stuff that's happened in my 50 years here on the planet. And I'm honored that we get to have this conversation now and all the other almost 700 episodes to be able to share this with you. But this is something that is huge. And what are you able to do to then shift from that low vibration, acknowledge the things that you're feeling, and then move forward? Okay, so let me give you with some stuff I'm studying right now. And it's interesting because as I'm studying this, I'm like, oh, I actually do that. I just never really like called it that or gave it as like a tool. But how do you move? How do you check your vibration? If you're in that low vibration place, you're in stress and panic and anxiety and frustration and fear and anger and rah, right? Like, fuck, nothing good is happening. Like you're just, and you're literally repelling people. We've all been in that emotional state too. We're just like, oh my God, I don't want to be around people right now. Like you almost can kind of see that you're just this wrecking ball, right? Like you're the Debbie Downer right now. And you can be around people sometimes, and that's going to bring it up, or to get into a space of the energy around others, and that's going to kind of raise your vibration, right? But what are ways that you can actually go from that? You've check yourself. You'll see that you're in this really low vibration to move back to a higher one. Okay, so let me give you some tools. Let's do 3. I have a big thing with the number 3. It's a very sacred number for me. So let's talk about 3 things that you can do. And this is your more tip to move from a low vibe state to a high vibration. Okay? Number one, you don't need anything, you don't need to go anywhere, is gratitude. In that moment, if you have a journal, great, write it down, or in your phone. There's something about seeing it. Actually, you know what? Screw that, not the phone. Writing it. It has a very different vibration. We'll use that word again. To be able to organically, pen to page, you're creating this and seeing it. Okay, so if you have your journal with you, knock yourself out. You're going to list 3 things that you're grateful for in that moment. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Like for me, sometimes it's like, when I sit down, it's the first thing that I do now as part of my journaling practice each morning is I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. If you follow me on Instagram, which is under my name, Dr. Karen Osborne with, what is that, underscore in between, Dr._Karen_Osborne. Just search my name, Karen Osborne. You'll see it come up. So you can follow me on Instagram and you'll see that I also do that as a practice each night, and I put them up on Instagram. What are 3 things I've been grateful for in this day? I want to put myself into a beautiful vibration as I drift off to sleep, not to sit there and go through the laundry list of what sucked about the day, okay? Gratitude puts you into that higher vibration state of love, of peace, of calm, of joy, of happiness. We all know it's an inside-out job, right? But yet we still keep searching on the outside for those things that somehow will like make us happy. And it's just, I'm telling you right now, it's like a drug. It's like anything that used to kind of give you a buzz or get you high. And what happens is you need more and more and more and more of it to get any of that until it gets to a point there's not any amount. I remember hearing Dax Shepard, who's an actor, and he has a podcast called Armchair Expert, and he's an addict. He's been sober, I think, for like 14, 15 years, but he just said he got to a point where he realized like there was no amount of cocaine that would get, like, it's just, there was never enough to give him that, right? And so that's an extreme case, right? But when we take a look at where we try to search for happiness on the outside through things and stuff, nothing wrong with things and stuff, okay? Through money, nothing wrong with money. Create lots of it. That's a beautiful thing. We try to create it in relationships. Yeah, feel loved in a relationship. But when we think that those things are necessary for our happiness, that's where we got a problem. This is like, Houston, we got a problem, right? This is where your, source, God, universe, your intuition, love is saying, oh no, sweetheart, those things are beautiful, but you don't need that to get it. Gratitude puts you into that place. What are you thankful for? For me, it can just be, I have breath in my body today. And you're going to find, by the way, too, is like, if you're in a really negative space, you're going to sit there and you're going to like stare at a blank page or just think in your head, and it's going to go to negativity. So it's a practice gratitude. I love that. I'm pretty certain I've referenced this several times. I believe it's Brene Brown. I got to look that up one day. Says that gratitude is a practice, because it's not about just being grateful when you're feeling grateful. That's not how it works. Gratitude is a practice. It is a daily. That's like saying, I'm only going to go work out when I feel like working out. Well, a lot of times you're just not going to. There'll be the voice of ego going, no, stay in bed. You're fine. Today's a rest day, right? And you're just like, if you give in to that, you're like, ugh, right? And you feel like crap first. You just go, you know what? I'm just going to get up and go. I don't have to have this be a struggle. I don't have to push myself. It's just a decision. I've chosen to do this. I'm going to go. And so gratitude the same way. There's going to be times you don't feel like doing it. But tool number one, this more tip, is either think of in your head, if you're say in the car driving, you can't write something down. You don't have your journal with you. What are 3 things you're grateful for in that moment? That's it. 3 things that you're grateful for. Okay? That's tool number 1. Tool number 2, music. It is one of the fastest ways to shift your vibration. Okay? It can be, it's really like, it's dance music. It's something that you sing to. For me right now, I listen to a lot of like instrumental and classical. I'm finding that the words just kind of get in the way. I just really want to feel the music and the feeling of it. And that instantly just like, boom. I literally walk around most days with my AirPods in, even if the kids are home and they're kind of doing their thing and I'm maybe getting lunches prepped or dinner or just doing cleaning or other stuff and in the house with them. And I'll be listening to music kind of like lower, so obviously I can hear my kids, right? But it keeps me in that state. It's such a valuable tool. So music is the second one. So gratitude is number 1. Music is the second one, okay? And here's the third one, exercise, movement. What can that mean? Stretching. It can mean you go for a walk. It can mean you put on music and you dance to it, right? In your car. Can only do the above waist. Dance, the car dance, right? It can be, you're like me, you got music in and you're like rocking out at home. It could be that you hit a spin class, you go to yoga class, you go for a run, you go lift weights. It doesn't matter. You go for a swim, hop on your bike. It's the shittiest day. And so you crank out a bunch of push-ups or squats or burpees. Like you move your body. It will change your state. Guaranteed, guaranteed, guaranteed. And if you're feeling hurt and injured and beat up and stuff, then you stretch or you do yoga, like gentle yoga. Don't attach any, it's got to be a hard workout. And here's the thing too. In the times that you are dancing in your kitchen, you're in your car, that you are going on a walk, you're in yoga, you're lifting weights, be present in it. Don't use it as a checkout, okay? I did that for years. It can be a strategy for that. Of like, I'm just gonna, but I would use exercise to numb, to not feel, to like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, right? And that's okay. I'm not saying you got to bring all of your stuff with you wherever you go, right? The challenges you're working through in life. But I just want you to be present, because then you feel your body, okay? It's going to be a very different experience. And you can still work very, very hard, but be present and have a smile on your face. I remember a coach a couple years ago saying something to me about that. And it was like, what would happen if you kind of just change the tape in your head? And the tape in my head often, when I used to do CrossFit, was like, oh, this is so fucking hard. Like, blah. And it was often the thing, a lot of CrossFit boxes, there's a lot of F-bombs being dropped, man. Like grunts and groans and a lot of primal stuff. Because, yeah, you were like working hard. And it just kind of comes out of you sometimes, right? But I was just like, what would happen if I changed the tape inside my head? And it completely changed the way that I moved my body and the way that I worked out and the way that I nourished myself that way and got strong and leaner and faster. I could still like, quote unquote, push myself, but I wasn't gritting my teeth as I did it. I was like, oh man, I'm so grateful to be able to do this. Like, look how strong my body is. I'm so thankful. I'm 50 and look how I can move. Like, wow, that's so awesome. I'm going to be present. What am I feeling in my body? Okay, so be present in your exercise. So let's just recap this really quickly. So gratitude, okay, 3 things that you're grateful for, music, and exercise. All right, so super practical today. But there is no reason why you can't shift from that lower vibration, recognize where you are, acknowledge it, don't beat yourself up, and then choose different. And then choose one of those 3 tools to move you to a high vibe state. But listen, I have something super exciting and new to share with you. I've been talking about one-on-one coaching for a while. And the way that I have designed my recent one-on-one coaching is it's 90 days, okay? So it's very intense in that way. It is not for every woman. It is definitely an investment with the tuition. It's an investment of money, energy, and time. And so I started to have this thought a few days ago that came through me. It was like, what if I set up something where I had a one-on-one coaching program that was 30 days at a time, that allowed more women a chance to be able to come in, that made the tuition something that really was affordable for most women to be able to do, that allowed them to be able to have a chance to see the results, to experience what this coaching relationship is really like, still based on your goals, still based on your needs, still based on the outcome that you want. And then at the end of 30 days can continue on or can be, thank you very much, I'm good, Karen. I was like, wow, what if I was to do that? So this is the first podcast you're hearing this, okay? Now, one-on-one coaching is still by application. So here's what I want you to do. If you want to apply for this new 30 days, okay, new 30 days of one-on-one coaching, and there will be 10 spots for this. It's a little different than I've done with the 90-day coaching, but 10 spots that are available the way that I've done this, which allows me to be able to serve more of you, which allows access to more of you. And again, it's not 30 days and done. We can just keep going, 30, 30, 30. It can graduate into 90, but we start with 30 days. I don't have a name yet, but I keep hearing the word like starter coaching, like a starter kit, okay, so here's what you need to do. To apply for the new 30 days of one-on-one coaching, I want you to email me, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, and say, yes, I'd like to apply for the new 30-day program, and I will get in touch with you from there. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more really is one step away from checking your vibe and making those changes every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.